In this meditation, we'll be talking about the idea of interdependence, which is essentially the linking of all events, all causes and conditions that lead us to experience reality in the way that we do, and how this notion of interdependence then relates to the sanctity of human life, or what in Buddhism they call precious human life. So let's begin by setting up a comfortable position, sitting on the floor, on a cushion, on a chair, even in your bed if you wish, but making sure first and foremost that you can have a straight spine, so you're not leaning against anything, crossing the legs or kneeling. Then allow the body to relax and sink into the posture a little bit. So remembering that there is no need to hold any unnecessary tension. Rather, allow the body to be in this fine balance. Just enough tension needed to hold you upright. Slightly tilting the chin down, and the eyes can be open, half open or closed. If you're tired, I'd recommend perhaps not closing the eyes, and this will help you retain some focus. And then once you're comfortable, we can begin. So I invite you to start just by descending into the body's space. Noticing the points of contact between yourself and the floor or cushion. Making a conscious effort to relax the body. Releasing tension from those common areas that hold it, like the shoulders or the jaw. And allow yourself to come into this very stable and calm place. And to begin today, we'll start with 3 deep breaths. Inhaling calm, exhaling thoughts, inhaling peace, exhaling stress. Inhale tranquility, exhaling tension. And I invite you now to start considering whatever it is that you're sat on, be this a chair or a cushion. Think about how, in order for you to be seated upon this object, the object had to be made. So if it's, say, a cushion, this cushion had to be put together by someone, sewn in a factory perhaps. It had to be designed. Whoever made it in the factory had to be using a sewing machine. That sewing machine had to have a cotton thread that was made by someone else. Someone had to come up with the concept of a sewing machine to sew your cushion. And whoever came up with that concept had to have parents who allowed them schooling so that they could conceive these ideas. And in the factory where the cushion was made, there has to be perhaps hundreds of people who are working to produce these things out of material that perhaps comes from somewhere else in the globe. And just for something as simple as you to have a cushion to sit on, there is an almost infinite chain of causes and events and conditions that come into play so that you can be sat here in your cushion or in your chair doing your meditation. Likewise, considering the food that you eat or whatever it is that you drink. And how many people have to be involved in the process of growing and packaging and sending and selling these things so that you can have your favorite cup of Colombian coffee, your oranges from Spain. And you can have these things daily without the consideration of the myriad of events and factors and people that had to bring all of these exact conditions together to bring you to where you are now. And even the fact that you are taking 10 minutes out of your day to sit and meditate, the fact that you've considered having a spiritual practice at all, is a combination of a further sequence of events and causes and conditions that have come into play in exactly the right way to give you the greatest gift of life, which is the interest, the dedication to a spiritual practice, the ability to ask questions, the ability to perceive why and how things come together as they do. And this is not only true for you and the events in your life, but it's true for every single human on this planet, that we have this path of events behind us, each tiny thing leading to where we are now, and each thing dependent on a number of other people, a number of other events coming together in a certain way. And therefore there is nothing that we use, there is nothing we see, there is nothing we eat or drink or think that is not due to someone else. There is nothing that arises independent of these causes. We are all products of what we call dependent arising of reality. Everything is linked in this way. Can you think of anything that is separate from you? And as everything is linked and as everything has come together so perfectly to allow you to be here, does that not mean that this life is something sacred, something to be looked after, something to be honored and cherished? And how often is it that you remember that you are an amazing human being simply for being alive? Considering still this vast array of people that have come into play to provide you with all of the causes and conditions you required to be here now, consider the fact that they are also human beings like yourself. And if your one wish is just to be happy and to be free from suffering, then these humans too simply have a wish to be happy and to be free from suffering. So we are not only united in the interdependent nature of our realities, but we are also united in this one simple wish for happiness. So in order to give our practice more juice and more benefit, we'll finish by dedicating its merit not only for ourselves and our own individual pursuit of happiness and inner peace, but in honor of all of those around us that we are dependent on, who also want to be happy. We'll close with Shantideva's dedication. May all beings everywhere, plagued by the sufferings of body and mind, obtain an ocean of happiness and joy by virtue of my merits. May no living creature suffer, commit evil, or ever fall ill. May no one be afraid or belittled with a mind weighed down by depression. May the blind see forms and the deaf hear sounds. May those whose bodies are worn with toil be restored on finding repose. May the naked find clothing, the hungry find food. May the thirsty find water and delicious drinks. May the poor find wealth, those weak with sorrow find joy. May the forlorn find hope, constant happiness and prosperity. May there be timely rains and bountiful harvests. May all medicines be effective and wholesome prayers bear fruit. May all who are sick and ill quickly be freed from their ailments. Whatever diseases there are in the world, may they never occur again. May the frightened cease to be afraid, and those bound be freed. May the powerless find power, and may people think of benefiting each other. For as long as space remains, for as long as sentient beings remain, until then, may I too remain to dispel the misery of the world. May it be so. You can come out of meditation when you're ready and continue this thought of the sanctity of your own life and the sanctity of others throughout your day.